Hello, hello, hello. Fairy dust, fairy dust, fairy dust. All right, I'm going to talk about this sentence from Melody Beatty's book, Codependent No More. This is Jessica's story, page 12. She says, I never intended to marry an alcoholic. My father had been one. I had tried so carefully to choose my husband. Great choice. Frank's problem with drinking had become apparent on our honeymoon when he left our hotel suite late one afternoon and didn't return till 6:30 the next morning. Why didn't I see then? Looking back, the signs were clear. What a fool I had been. Oh no, he's not an alcoholic, not him. I had defended him time and again. I had believed his lies. I had believed my lies. Ooh, insight. Why didn't I just leave him and get a divorce? Guilt, fear, lack of initiative, and indecision. Besides, I'd left him before. When we were apart, all I did was feel depressed, think about him, and worry about money. Damn me. Okay. If you are a codependent and you find yourself in a relationship that is fucked up for whatever reason, for you are in a relationship with an alcoholic, or you are in a relationship with a verbally abusive person, or you in a relationship with a jerk, or you're in a relationship with somebody with a personality disorder, i.e. borderline personality disorder or narcissistic personality disorder, or whatever the fuck. In her story, ... I'll fill that in a second. In her story, she does a few things. In that little part of her story, she does a few things. One, that's classic. One is she says she ignored the signs. So she ignored the signs. And so she admits that there were signs. And I'm here to tell you, there are always signs. And if you're telling me or thinking that in your case there were no signs, then you have a little work to do regarding signs, because there are always signs. And then you have to understand now that you are a person who wills yourself not to see signs. So that's your pickle. So you have to do work before you even admit to your codependency. You have to start to see that your level of denial about seeing signs, that you're blind to signs. And so you have to get conscious enough to where you can see signs, because there are always signs. Okay. Back to our story. So she says she saw the signs and ignored them. So that's one piece of information. There are always signs, and we have a tool for that. Believe people when they tell you who they are the first time, Maya Angelou. That people are always communicating to us who they are. And we get to choose whether we want that in our lives or not. And so when we ignore the signs, we are telling ourselves and discovering ourselves to be a person who is okay with whatever the fuck is going on that's dysfunctional. And how do we prove that to ourselves? By our actions, by the evidence. So if you see that stuff in a person, if you see the signs in that person while you're dating and then you choose to marry them, you can see that it is the evidence. The evidence is in that you are a person that wants to be with a person who does things that are button pushers for you, or that you consider bad behavior or whatever. So that's an important thing to know, so that that there are always signs, and part and parcel to being a codependent is the ability to ignore signs and lie to yourself. That to me was the most huge and wide awake and conscious sentence of the little paragraph I read, is I lied to myself. That is a conscious sentence and huge, and that is a step forward in personal growth, to understand that, holy shit, my codependency is such that I will lie to myself. That's where the work starts, in those truths that you start telling yourself. Okay, so there's that. And then the other part of it is, that is part and parcel to codependency, is the part where she's like, damn me, and I'm whatever. Anyway, beating yourself up. What did she say? Great choice. So she's, being sarcastic with herself, and, like, I'm sure she had an eye roll when she wrote that or admitted that. And then, why didn't I see that then? Bad, shame. What a fool I had been. I'm bad. I had, okay, that's about it. So that's it. Oh, shoot, sorry. Beating yourself up. So you do the thing, and then you beat yourself up for doing the thing. So you stay in denial from a sign that you see, and then when you're willing to see it, whether that's consciously like, oh shit, I didn't see signs, so I should do my personal growth work, then you beat yourself up, oh, I should have seen it, or you are just swimming in unconsciousness and unconscious codependency. Oh, why didn't I see the signs? Which is, shit, codependency. P.S. I'm a codependent. That's what I'm talking about. I'm talking about my own experience, strength, and hope. And then, like, I'm so dumb. So it's like, this is like an infinity thing. Like, I should have seen that, and I'm terrible for not seeing that. And it's just... And all this is the shiny object that keeps you asleep and staying in the dysfunctional relationship, so the cycle of abuse can continue one more time, and you can go around it one more time, and then you get to do this all over again, and it's just on its way. It's just a matter of time. Okay. So, but the reason that I'm talking to you about this one sweet little paragraph is, yes, I've given you knowledge that all dysfunctional relationships and dysfunctional people give you signs from the get-go. And B, that part and parcel to codependency is beating yourself up. So that's, beating yourself up is a symptom of codependency. The important thing, the reason I'm telling you this, and this is her pickle too, you are fucking wired for codependency. That she didn't want to marry an alcoholic, bitch, she did not have a choice. Her little psyche was looking around the horizon, looking through her college, looking in her office for the fucking alcoholic, because the codependent is wired to take care of, to ignore signs, to put up with bullshit, to be lied to lie to themselves, to do this whole thing. So that's what the wiring is looking for, because that's what she knows how to fucking do. Does she know how to take a compliment? No. So is she gonna look for somebody that's not gonna give her compliments? Yes. Does she know how to love herself? No. Is she going to look for somebody who loves her? No, because she doesn't know how to do that. She doesn't know how to accept true love and kindness. She wasn't wired for that shit. She's wired for being treated like a piece of shit, and she's wired for people not loving her and not taking care of her and not having her best interests at heart. So she's looking for the fit. We attract each other at our level of mental health. So her codependency is in search for the alcoholic to take care of the alcoholic, and unconsciously for the alcoholic to take care of her, because all these wires are screaming out for, where can I get my dopamine? Where can I get the thing that I understand? Where can I get the thing that of the atmosphere that I'm looking for? You know, all children have Stockholm syndrome. So where can I find another kidnapper that will treat me the same way that I'm accustomed to being treated? I need that. That's what I'm programmed for. So that's the only fucking thing I know how to do. And understanding this is sad, but it's also fucking liberating. Once you understand that this is just wiring, that this shit isn't original to you. Sorry for all the noise. This shit isn't original to you. This is programmed into you by the cult leader. Again, I'm not being mean to your parents. I'm not being mean to your family. I'm not being mean to, it's just what is. It's just the wiring. If you were raised with alcoholics or whatever, I'm talking about the behavior in them. I'm talking about the actual drinking that caused their wiring. Okay, so I'm not being mean to them. I honor your parents. I'm just talking about behavior and behavior only. This isn't about the people, it's about the behaviors. And so children cannot help but get their wiring, just like we learn language very well when we're little. We understand our environment when we're little, and our brain, as they say, like, it's hard to understand a foreign language it's hard to learn one when we're older, because our brain literally makes it impossible almost to understand the different clicks and variables in other languages. Same thing with our emotional, spiritual, cognitive states. Like it's like, well, I guess to be human is to be treated like a piece of shit, and to be looked over, and to be mocked, and to be, sarcastic too. So, so you're wired for this shit. You didn't have a choice. We none of us had a choice. This was our wiring, and we can't heal from this until we understand we need to make ourselves and learn this new foreign language of advanced personal growth work, and of loving ourselves, and of self-care. And I mean, all this is fucking new to us, like all of it. And so we have to learn it, and that's the only way to undo it. It's the only way. And so, I did it, and I'm still doing it with lots and lots of therapy, lots of 12-step meetings, lots of healing, lots of coaching, lots of all that shit. Constant self-help books. And so that's what I'm here doing, is trying to figure out if we can, me and you, can accelerate this process for you. So, and a lot of it is, I'm going to be pushing your buttons. I mean, this shit is hard to hear, but it is advanced. And so if it's resonating with you, you're advanced. There's no other way to put it. So, all right, you're wired for this shit. That is a foundational principle of understanding how you ended up in relationships that are very similar to your upbringing. Love you. You know what, after that, we actually need some no, fuck fingers. Like, okay, I don't see my wand. I found it. All right, you need this. You need fairy dust. Did you get fairy dust in childhood? No, and neither did I. So we're gonna have some now. There's yours. There's mine. Boop. There's hers. I love you. I'm so grateful to be on this journey with you. I'm so happy to help and be helpful if I possibly can. I am happy to use any of my experience, strength, and hope, and any kind of, hopefully any kind of shitty thing I've done or have experienced. And my prayer is, and my hope is, that it can be used for your healing and your awesomeness and your rewiring to the fabulous life that you deserve and that you long for deep within. I love you. This is so exciting. I love you so much.